Hello, I'm Galen. I hope you're doing well. I draw a lot of feline characters in my art, and so today I wanted to do a little tutorial on how I like to draw feline faces. This is just the way I do it. It's quite stylized, but we will be using reference from real life to help with our design choices. So first of all are the building blocks, the foundation shapes that we'll be using to construct the head, which is a sphere, cube, this triangular, almost like a pyramid shape for the ears, and a cylinder for the neck. And using all those shapes, if you are able to draw those, you'll be good to go. And we'll be making a little head construction, nothing fancy, very rough. And then creating a basic sort of base for the head. And after that, we'll be using the real life reference I found of the cat that I liked. And we'll be extracting things we like from the features of that cat into making our little character. And then, finally, I will take it to a finish and color it for the final image. So this will be sort of a draw along type of video. It's going to be real time up until the end of the sketch here. And then I'm going to do a time lapse just coloring and lining because that's not really what we're taking a look at today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You can either draw along or watch however much you want to and then try it yourself. But let's begin. So, using these basic building blocks, we are going to begin constructing a head that will be the base of our little character. So, I'm going to start with the circle or sphere. And this is not how I would actually approach drawing a character's face. What I'm doing now in this construction part is more kind of the basic shapes that I think about, the basic volumes I think about when drawing the face. So I kind of see these in my mind as I draw. And the next step when we actually start adding the details and making the character based off some reference, that will be more how I usually approach things, and I start from that stage. But okay, we've got our sphere, and now we are going to use the block shape to create a muzzle. And cats' muzzles are fairly short, but it does extend a bit, so I'm going to create this blocky shape coming out. Okay, now that we've got that, I'm going to just add in a little cylinder of the neck. A little bit like concave like this, not a perfect cylinder. Right, and now I'm going to put in another line, sort of 1/3 of the way from that midline to mark where the eyes will be, and we can just put 2 circles for that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just a rough idea. And next I'm going to start making the ears, so we are going to be using this sort of shape. We'll make them go to the side. go, and we can connect it with a half circle, and we'll do the same on the other side. Alright, and the next thing I like to think about is the base structure. I'm just going to... Okay, and that's pretty much the basic building blocks of the head. But we can just add a few more things to make this a little more solid. So for my characters, I like the forehead to go up kind of around here of the eye. So I start with a sort of straight line next to the eye, and then I bring that back into the forehead, like that. And then we can just bring that back into the muzzle with a sort of quarter circle. And we can kind of show the other side of the head here. Now I kind of make it a triangular shape. Should make this side go a little bit more. There we go, there's our very rough base, and that will serve as a nice foundation to do the actual fun stuff. Okay, now we are going to actually start drawing the character's face. And while this head is going to be quite stylized and not very realistic, it is still important to use a real reference as a guideline, because we are going to extract some of the shapes we can find that are appealing from this real cat's face. And I'm going to show you how I would do that to make a character. So with this base underneath, I am going to start with the muzzle. That is where I usually like to start. And I'm just going to put in a simple triangle I'm going to start with a simple upside down triangle for the nose. And what I like to do is, depending on the way the back is facing, I do the triangle, and then on the other side, to the side that's pointing away, I sort of just make this box line. It's just a style thing. So instead of it being pointed, I flatten it out. So the pointy side is the direction the cat's facing. It's just something I like to do. You don't have to do that. Okay. Now for the muzzle, it's now for the cat's little snoot, we are going to make a rounded box shape. And as you can see on the reference on the cat, the way it sort of comes out like the box, and then it's a little round shape, and then the little mouth. So that's what we are going to replicate here. I just do it a little more boxy than what the actual thing is. I'm gonna make our little rounded box. It's gonna come down like an L shape almost. And now I do another little triangle. Start them out and connect that with a line. And I'm just going to do a generic little smile. So I'm going to bring this up into a smile. Just trial and error until you find the line you like. And then I'm going to do the corner of the mouth. Okay, the next step I like to do is to create sort of the nose bridge, I guess, or just, I'm not really sure what this is for. Okay, the next thing I like to draw is this line that separates the muzzle from the other eye and goes into the eyebrow. We're going to create this oval sort of line, and we can put in a little simple eyebrow there. And then I erase this part and I flatten it out a bit. And just where the bottom of the eye socket is, I'm going to do the cheek. So it's going to jut out a bit and then create a little triangle. There, there's our angular shape. You can see it on the cat here, the way it makes this diamond shape here. Hold on. You can see on the cat we have our boxy muzzle, and then that line for the eyebrow, and then it comes out into that shape. So I'm just exaggerating these features on the cat and using it to fit our purpose. I feel this muzzle's hanging down a little bit more than I would like. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. Up a little bit. That. There we go. And now I'm going to create another line here. It goes into the other eyebrow. And now, using these circles as the guideline, I'm going to create the eyes. And on the cat here, I sort of create this slanted oval shape, but I'm going to make it a little bit more angular. I'm going to start with that slant, then I'm going to make angle here, same on the other side, and then I'm just going to a half circle underneath. And then we're going to create the little tear ducts. Use a little triangle and then connect it back up. And then erase the needed parts. To fix this angle a bit. That looks better. Okay, I'm making a very generic face right now, but we'll go over this and see how we can make it more interesting and into an actual character. But this is still sort of like the base, so don't worry, it'll get more interesting. And next I'm going to do the top of the head, which is just a sphere. And for the side of the head, I'm just going to bring it straight down, very similar to what we have in the building blocks part. And I'm pretty much just going to trace that for the other side. Now I'm going to do the chin. which is pretty much just going to follow along. You can see that, that box we made in the beginning. It's gonna follow that for the Osiris. And I'll connect all that into the neck. Little necklines. Alright, and now... Okay, all that's left for this base is to do the ears. So I'm going to erase this out a bit. And I'm going to make a triangle shape. At the top I like to make it straight. And then bring it down in a sort of swooshy line. There's a lot of different shapes of ears you can do. This is just a generic base. But depending on what kind of cat you're doing or what your reference is, there are so many kinds of shapes. And we will adjust this to make it more interesting in the next step. And taking the layer from underneath, oh, there we go, there is our head base. Yeah. And now we can start adding some personality and character to it. So, again, using this same reference here, because I like the look of this cat, we're going to still be taking aspects from... So now we are going to make a new layer. Okay, now that we've got our base, we can start having fun and creating some interesting shapes and features for this character. So I want to make him a boy, and I'm going to start once again with the nose. Pretty much the same thing, just going to a little triangle, but I'm going to make sort of a tiny V shape as well, kind of like a little heart. Let me just lower the opacity of this a bit more. There we go, we got a little heart. Now I'm going to do the muzzle, same as before. And a little smile. All this is going to be the same for now. Once we get into the eyes and the ears and the cheeks, we'll start playing around a bit more. Actually, I don't like this. I'm going to stick to that V shape we had. It's nice with the heart. I'm going to do the corner of the mouth, give him a nice big smile. Maybe show a little bit of the teeth. Little slightly open grin. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a little tooth poking out as well. I'm not sure about that. Okay, no, we'll just leave it as is. And for the lips of the cat, I like to make a thicker line to show the lips. You can do it however you like. This is just how I do it. I'm gonna give him 10. We'll maybe give him a little bit of fluff under there. And this cat is quite fluffy, so what I'm going to do is, following the shape of the neck, I'm going to start making little goofy triangle shapes. Maybe make it curvy as well. Make it even more goofy. I'm just gonna play around and see what looks good to me. Nice, big and fluffy. There we are, and that gives a nice thickness to the neck as well. Now I am going to start doing the eyes, and I want to make them a bit more narrow. Just follow this line here. Make a tiny mark. Let's show the box shape a bit more. And while I'm at it, I may as well add the little dots where the whiskers come from. I like to add expressive whiskers to my feline characters. If you don't like that look, I know some people don't like it, so they don't do it, but I think whiskers can add a lot of expression, so I'm going to give him whiskers. And give them a little more flavor. Sometimes what I do is just add a tiny shape to it at the corners. In this case, I'll give it a little flick. There we go, that adds a little bit of interest. And so now I'm going to do the eyes. Once again, following where we've already placed those guidelines, I'm just going to make them a little more narrow. And then I'm going to make it maybe a slight point. And when doing a 3/4 view like this, you don't want to copy the other eye exactly, because when the eye is starting to turn away from you, you start to see the sphere coming out more, so you're not going to see that corner of the eye anymore, if that makes sense. So as it's turning, that sphere that comes out is going to block the corner of the eye. I hope I explained that good enough, but that's pretty much what it does. So instead of that point, we're going to round it just a little bit. Okay. I think I made these eyes a little bit too small for my taste, so I'm gonna make them a little bigger. And now I'm going to add a little line to suggest a bit of an eyelid. And I am going to give this character some very thin eyebrows. A lot of my personal characters have thick eyebrows, so I'm gonna do a thin one this time. Okay, we'll give him a sort of like confident smirk sort of face. Here we go, something like that. And bring that line down. So, okay, next let's do the side of the face. And I'm going to add some more fluff. So I kind of like this triangular shape this cat's face is making. So what I'm going to try and do is sort of keep that angularness and then bring it down into some fluffy curves for the cheeks. Let's see if that works out well. So first I'm gonna make like that cheekbone parts. Close to the face, following our outlines. There we go. Now if he had short fur, that's where the cheeks would be. But since I'm giving him more fluffy fur, I'm going to start extending it out a little more. Give some tufts on the side like this. Nice and pointy. Do one more tiny one. And then we'll bring that down into the face. Same on the other side. That's going to give his face quite a bit of width. Just flip the page. I made those too short. Try again. It's not perfect, it's exactly how I want. I think I'm gonna make that one shape a bit wider. Okay, that's going to have to be good enough. Do the forehead. I'm going to raise it up a little more and sort of square it off at the top. And we'll give him a little bit of a hairstyle at the top. Your little tufts sticking out. I think that's enough. There we go. Now time for the ears. I am going to make them a little bigger. And I am going to create a little flick to the tip of the ears, just like we have on the whiskers. And that will look nice. And I'm going to create a triangle shape. How that looks. It's kind of interesting. And maybe I'll add a bit of fluff coming out. Something like that. Okay, I think that's looking alright. And we'll do the other ear. And I've sort of got it facing to the side, so make sure I do that. Other ear. We'll be facing away a little bit, and we may see some of that ear fluff sticking out. There we are. And now I'm just going to add some circles for the irises. And I also like to add a bit of eye bags underneath the eyes. And it's very optional. Just how I like it. And here we go. There's our character's face we made from using this cat here as reference. It's very different from what we started with looking at, but that's where the imagination part comes in. But we did use this as a guide. So I'm going to jump into a little time lapse doing the line arts for this guy and add some colors and patterns to it as well. This was my attempt at a little tutorial video thing. I'm not very used to this, so I hope it was somewhat followable and that it maybe helped you in some way. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun drawing and take care. Bye bye.